10 again with this pretty small roster. We are underway as they look for win number 3.
That was an impressive win they had over Minnesota. And we'll say the name a lot, Kayleen Schmeichel really taking over in that game for Rutgers.
This is Awa Sidibe. Going to give it inside to Cassandra Brown. A pass into Cornwell, and she lays it in for the first points of this game. That pass leaping in the air as Brown intercepted. Here comes Rutgers again quickly. Schmeichel putting it up, no. Rebounded by Pazan. And throw it deep. Sellers wide open layup, good.
We'll talk a lot about turnovers in this game. 16 of them for Maryland against Indiana, and that was a quick one right there, but a little bit beneficial that Cheyenne Sellers was just hanging around back there.
Good defense by Myers, trying to force that turnover. Rutgers does a good job to get that over half court. Pass inside, looking for Cornwell again. And the only forward listed on this roster has all 4 points. This is Miller over to Sellers, in front of that Rutgers bench. Maryland slowing it down here. They trail by 2 early in College Park. This is Sellers. Pizan, Myers, open 3, no good, rims out. She shoots the 3 really well, but that time could not get it to go as Awa Sidibe is fouled it the other way.
Rutgers pushing the pace in transition right there. You'd have to imagine with the team, with just 8 players on their team, not a lot of depth from them. But if they're going to have a chance in this game, they're going to have to make Maryland adapt and play to their style. But Rutgers so far playing a little bit faster than I anticipated.
Awa Sidibe heads to the line. She's a 78% free throw shooter on the year. And she is no good on that first attempt. She has been great in her second year as a Scarlet Knight. Makes the second shot to give Rutgers that 3-point cushion. This is Pinzan taking it across half court. Sellers open instead. She will try to drive, putting it up, and it rims out, unlucky for Cheyenne Sellers. But that's a turnover. This is Miller to Masonis. Rutgers got a piece of that, but Masonis gets it right back, putting it up, no good again. And Rutgers survives somehow as they take it the other way. Miller with an interception. She will take it in and lay it in, 5-4. Well, Coach Washington, she talked about trying to limit the turnovers after that loss to Maryland a short time ago. They've already turned the ball over a few times. That jumper no good, rebounded by Masonis. And Diamond Miller, top player for the Terps, taking it the other way. Masonis thought about that mid-range shot, gives it off. Myers, long 3, good! Abby Myers connects on her second attempt to give Maryland a 2-point lead.
Yeah, Brenda Freese, truly one of the best to do it. And after last season, where Maryland had players leave the program, you can see the way she was able just to get some new fresh faces into this Maryland program, 9 new players on this team, and she's really got them playing at a high level of basketball just in their first season.
Sellers trying to take it away. It's on the ground. A jump ball is called.
She's kind of like, you know, a good way to put her role in that is like a pest on the defensive side of the ball, and she's the one that's always just wreaking havoc on the ball handler, forcing turnovers.
Miller driving, knocked away, good defense, but Miller gets it right back. She's gonna go to the hoop, and she is fouled. That's the second time, Ben, that we have seen Rutgers make a great defensive play and then immediately give it back. Diamond Miller's first free throw, no good. Maryland's been a little bit unlucky with some bounces off the rim here so far today. Let's see if Miller can knock down the second. She can. Good focus by Miller after missing the first to lock in and knock it down and give Maryland a 3-point lead. Here's another turnover. Could be, but they're going to call a jump. Looked like Myers had it for a second, but good job by Kai Carter not to give up on it.
Either way, it's a good result for Maryland to get the possession arrow back in your favor now.
Yeah, right away as well. Sidibe, long pass, looking for Brown. Brown driving on Miller. She traveled. Good defense by Diamond Miller. She has been really good so far. 3 steals already for the star of this Maryland team.
Yeah, just the little things for her. You saw when Massonis tried to come up for the steal, she rotated really quickly.
Myers' jumper, good. Maryland's got Rutgers doubled up, 10-5 here early in the first. Carter, 2 Terps order, knocked away, a foul is called. They know that this is a turnover-prone Rutgers team, and they're trying to force that issue here today. Sellers grabs the rebound. Trying to keep the dribble, giving it up to Miller. That's always a good idea. Miller, that's a pretty step back, won't go. And Lafayette takes it the other way. This is Kai Carter. Giving it off to the junior Lafayette. This is the star freshman Smichael. Sidibe, pressured. Gonna have to throw it inside, and Sellers takes it away. Long pass, Myers layup good. And again, the defense of the Maryland Terrapins really making life very difficult for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Here's more defense, jump ball, Maryland's gonna take it right back.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
You got to put them on them early. You got to make their life miserable, essentially. Be aggressive and kind of wear them down as best as you can, because you get into the later part of the game, all the bangs and bruises, they start to catch up on you as a team, especially when you don't have too many girls on the bench to go to.
Cornwell makes them both, just a 64% free throw shooter. And Maryland is going to come down the other way. This is Briggs. Out to Pinzan. Long pass over Sellers. Back to Pinzan. She's got to look from 3. Connects. And the point guard there calling her own number and knocking down the 3. Out of bounds it goes, a kick. Going to stay with Rutgers. Floor general averaging just over 3.5 points per game. But she's got 3 already here with a big 3. This is Smichael working on Miller. That's a good matchup to watch. Smichael driving, misjudges the layup, but Cornwell gets it back. Fight for this rebound, a foul is called. Brenda Fries cannot believe it.
Very aggressive on the defensive side, though, so that's where they found all the success, but you don't want to give them those points back at the line.
And Rutgers has now made 6 of 7 from the line, so they're making Maryland pay for these fouls.
Yeah, Rutgers, a lot of turnovers so far in this first quarter, but they are making up for it at the free throw line, so they have really no option but to do so.
Smichael, 4 points in this first quarter, all from the charity stripe. This is Miller, looking for somebody open. Pinzan's got it back. Inside, Miller putting it up and in. Pinzan had the 3 last time around. Now she returns to her point guard role with a nice dime.
She sees that zone defense, and she knows exactly where the hole is going to be in the middle. Diamond Miller just catches Cornwell sleeping.
That's a 3. What a response. That's Lafayette to make it a 7-point game. Trading blows now up and down the court. Pinzan over to Miller. Usona's trying to set a pick. The pick and roll gets back to her, no. Smichael with the interception. Now she's going to take it the other way. Likes to put it up from 3, this time passing. Miller read that, but it goes back to Smichael. That time intercepted. That's Alexander. Another turnover. She's going to put up a 3 in transition, no good. Made that last one. Bit of a heat check there, did not go. That's a travel called on Awa Sidibe. Pinzan's going to let that roll. Maryland's going to hold here for the last shot of the quarter. This is Pinzan, off to Myers. She's going to put up a long 3. No good, rims out, and that is how the first quarter will end. But now in Big Ten play, Brenda Fries, 145-21.
It's just really incredible stuff out of Coach Fries since they joined the conference in 2014. they've just proven why they've been such a dominant program. Even back when in the ACC, you could see the success this team had, the national championship in 2006.
Trying to increase their lead. This is Miller. Out to Sellers. This is Myers working her way out to the three-point line where she is deadly. Masonis gives it back. Not much time on the shot clock. Miller's gonna have to figure something out, putting it up. No good, gets the board. Second attempt is good by Diamond Miller. And she's not gonna miss it twice if you give her 2 looks in the paint, Ben.
Yep, that's a shot that Miller has to thrive on as the offensive leader of this team. There's little, 6, 7 foot jumpers where you don't have too much of a contest on you. She's able to rise over the defenders most of the time and hit the apex in her jump shot and make those.
This is Awa Sidibe, wearing number 11 right now. Wore number 1 against Maryland earlier. She got some blood on her jersey. They gave her the ceremonial jersey from Washington's press conference. Interesting little story there as Maryland's going to get back again. Coach Washington said it was like reliving her playing days, seeing her jersey worn on the court again. She was a phenomenal player in her own right, playing the WNBA. So this one's stolen by Schmeichel. The other way, passing it off and laying it in. That's Kai Carter in transition. Great hustle to get down there. Pinzan with it, working on Kai Carter. Just looking for somebody to get open. This is Miller. Miller taking it herself and putting it in. And when she gets going, Ben, she really is pretty close to unstoppable.
Yeah, Rutgers in that tight man-to-man defense, and you can see Maryland recognizing that and just doing what's best to get her open. You saw.
This is Schmeichel trying to work inside, and I think Maryland knows what she can do now. Maybe they were not as familiar with her game coming into that first meeting, but now they know. They're playing really hard defense. Sellers, long 3-0. Myers got it right back, and a foul is called on Abby Streeter. Sellers to Myers, putting it up, no good. Miller fighting for it. Maryland's gonna get it back through Alexander. Myers cutting in and scoring. What a great find there by Alexander. Myers has 12 points already.
Wasn't really a whole lot she could do there, just kind of awkward positioning.
The thing about Abby Myers is that she can score in just so many different ways. Obviously, she's kind of known to be a three-point shooter, but she can score in the paint as well, as you saw there. And that's a jump ball. Rutgers will take it. Maryland with the good defense, rather. Just those 8, that's what's on the roster, and that is what Coach Washington uses. Everybody averages at least 17 minutes a game, as Carter, no good there. Alexander taking it the other way, pass to Sellers. Driving, putting it up, no good, but she's fouled. She's gonna have to earn it from the line. Cheyenne Sellers, a great sophomore season for her. 14.4 points, almost 5 boards as well.
Yeah, I mentioned to you, Tyler, a little bit before the game that Sellers is kind of like this team's X factor, if you will. The way that she can come in a game and make plays on the defensive end and then in turn turn that into Maryland offense. You can see her with the 3 assists today as well, but she can get it done when taking it to the basket, shooting a little bit. Sellers can do it all.
That's going to stay with Maryland. Got 1 of 2, and now Maryland gets the ball back. Sellers going to drive, putting it up and in. A nice layup there by Cheyenne Sellers.
Right on cue. That's exactly the kind of play Sellers can make. And now look at her already back in her position, letting out a scream. Try to get a steal.
That's an offensive foul there on Carter. Have set Sellers a big part of that. 7-0 run for Maryland. Rutgers has not scored in 2 minutes and change. This is Mila Reynolds in, the freshman. Alexander giving it off to Sellers. Sellers to Myers, putting it up. The bounce, no good. And again, that rim has just killed Maryland so far. Cornwell over to Lafayette. Driving on Sellers, putting it up, no good. And Sellers, of course, grabbing the rebound, throwing it down the court. Reynolds putting it up, no. But Myers fights for the offensive board. Sellers back to Myers. That's a great pass. Reynolds wasn't ready. Sellers open three. Good! Cheyenne Sellers connects. She's just doing it all right now for Maryland.
That is excellent ball movement by the Terps all around. Completely unselfish play by the team. So many extra passes. Myers with the incredible look inside, and then finally finding the Sellers wide open on the wing.
10-0 run for Maryland. Can Rutgers stop the bleeding? Down by 17 points. This is Sidibe trying to drive. That pass out of bounds. Smeichel. She's going to put it up from three, no good. But she gets her own rebound, drives, and misses again. Cornwell going up, and Miller just said no. Football pass to Myers, layup, no good. And she's got a smile on her face. She can't believe she missed that. But Miller gets it right back. Miller with Cook with her. Putting it up and in is Gia Cook. Well, Diamond Miller should have had an assist on that Myers miss. Instead, she gets it to Cook. That's a really rare miscue by Abby Myers. Typically just such a short shooter. That goes off the foot of Myers, who is hurt.
It'll be a very mental game. If you don't feel like you're going to be playing your best, you're not happy out there, you're not going to shoot the ball well, and Myers knows that, and that's why she's always playing with such tremendous confidence.
This is Sidibe giving it off to Carter. Rutgers just trying to get something going here against what has been a stellar Maryland performance thus far. Smeichel putting it up, no good. Diamond Miller grabs the rebound. Long pass to Gia Cook. Masonis gets it back. Trying to find someone. Gets it back though. The give and go does not work because Masonis cannot connect. Carter the other way. Smeichel putting up a three. She got it.
A three-point basket by Kaylin Smeichel.
Smeichel finally connects from the field. Now 1 for 8. Just has not been her night.
She needed that one bad, Tyler.
And again, we cannot stress enough, she is a phenomenal player. Big Ten Freshman of the Week last week. The second time she's won it this year. This is Miller. Driving, putting it up, no. Rebounded by Cornwell. This is Sidibe driving, pass to the corner. That three, no good, rebounded Miller. Guy Carter could not get it to go. Diamond Miller driving, putting it up and in. She just makes it look so easy, Ben.
Miller very quick in transition, great ball, and you can see when you have the defense running with you, Miller knows exactly what to do. She attacks that top foot with the crossover, and just like that, here she comes again.
Fifth steal, pass to Myers, long three, no good. And a foul on Maryland. She's also got 11 points and 5 boards. Could be a big day for her. That's Cornwell the other way, and she gets it to go. She's quietly having a pretty big day. That's her 10th point to go along with 8 rebounds. This is Gia Cook, the freshman, off to Myers. Back to Cook it goes. Cook driving, somehow gets it out. Alexander's gonna put up a three, it's good. Renee Alexander connects, puts Maryland back up by 19.
Good ball movement, Cook finding that skip pass, and then Sellers waits a second, makes that one extra pass, and Alexander is wide open.
An offensive foul. Maryland's going to give it right back. Gia Cook taking it. 3 by Alexander on the assist by Sellers. That's her 4th assist of the day. There's Myers driving, putting it up, misjudged that. And she trips and falls after the play. Hopefully.
You thought for a second she was making a hustle play, but there was kind of a very lackadaisical trip.
Good to see that she is okay. Lafayette's going to give it off to Schmeichel. About a minute to go here in this first half. It's been all Maryland so far. This is Lafayette, long 3. Schmeichel connects. She's hit 2 in a row now after missing her first 7 shots of the game.
Yeah, first half not great offensively for her, but in line potentially for a big second half. She's getting hot at the right time.
She's got 10 points. It's taken a while to get there, but she has. This is Miller. Miller behind the back, looking for a pass to find Briggs. Oh, that's pretty from Diamond Miller. Schmeichel, a long pass to Bates, putting it up and in. A response there by Rutgers.
No reason to push it here if you're Maryland.
This is Diamond Miller. Maryland's going to hold this for the last shot. Miller to Sellers, putting it up. Rutgers got a piece of it. And that's how the half will come to a close. Maryland's defense has been fantastic so far. They're going to want to try to keep that going, strangle this game, and walk out of here with the W. Myers to Masonis. Spins on. Miller's going to put up a 3. No good. Rebounded by Pinzon. She's going to put it back up and in. She's got 5 points. And again, not that much of a scorer. She does most of her work just setting up teammates, but she's been pretty good today offensively.
Well, very efficient, 2 for 2 from the field. You can't really ask much more out of the point guard, facilitating the offense as she always does, but when she gets her chance, she's made the most of them.
Yes, she has. Sidibe trying to work it inside. Miller looking to force another Rutgers turnover. Gets back to Awa Sidibe. Gonna have to pass it to the corner. Cutting in, Lafayette. That's a nice play with 1 on the shot clock. Long pass Miller the other way, knocked down. And picked up by Sidibe, who is fouled.
Defense, Lafayette doing a nice job right there and putting it up in the nick of time.
Lafayette, the junior. She's had some shots go down today. Cutting in and putting that up is Brown, who cannot connect, and Sellers is going to take it the other way. Sellers, nobody picked her up. Put up the J, no good. Again, she does not miss much, and you give her some space. This is Lafayette again. Steve back to Schmeichel. Lafayette driving, putting it up. Tough bucket will not go. Fight for the rebound. Cornwell, no good again, and Miller is going to take it the other direction. Miller finds Pinzon. Pinzon gives it right back. Miller cutting in, no good. Rebounded by Cornwell. It's just been a machine so far. It's her 10th rebound. Long pass the other way, Miller. He's going to put that up and in. Easy, easy, easy there for Maryland.
Well, Josh Allen's playing on CBS right now, but I think we should be tuned in to Abby Myers here on Big Ten Plus with a touchdown pass right there.
And earlier we saw Myers miss on one of those, but now she gets an assist in that style. She's got it back. This is Abby Myers. Giving it off to Sellers. Cutting, putting it up and in. That's 2 assists in, what, 20 seconds? As you said, comparing her to Josh Allen, Abby Myers is dealing right now.
That one was an easy one for Myers. She stops right on a dime, and she sees the cutting Sellers coming behind her. She sees that she has a step on her defender, and that's an easy drop pass.
Had 5 steals. Rutgers has had trouble getting it down the court just every time. This is Awa Sidibe. Giving it off to Schmeichel. Pass inside to Brown. And that is intercepted by Briggs to Miller the other way. She's just going to put it right up. No good. Left it short. This is Schmeichel putting it up, and she is fouled.
Schmeichel did the exact opposite of Diamond Miller. Diamond Miller had that one-on-one going to the basket, and she kind of shied away from the contact a little bit, settled for the pull-up. But Schmeichel coming down here, she sees that she has that step advantage, and she gets the contact on Pinzan. It's a smart play.
And a 75% throw shooter, 4 for 4 so far tonight. Looks like she's got to stop and tie her shoe before she takes these. We don't want anybody tripping, do we, Ben?
Nope.
Shoes are tied. Let's see if she can knock down these free throws. Got the first. Makes her 5 for 5 now. Rutgers as a whole has just really shot well from the line tonight. Make that 9 of 10 for the Scarlet Knights.
They're shooting just 30%, sorry, from the field as a whole, so they've had to make up for it from the free throw line.
Miller's going to be fouled. Speaking of free throws, she will head to the line.
Recognize that she has that size advantage and just speed as a whole.
Diamond Miller's going to put that up and in. 14 for her so far. Quick fire on the second one, and she's got it. Maryland's 20-point cushion is restored. Schmeichel taking it across center court, a pass to the corner to Bates. Bates is running out of room. That's a great find to Sidibe, who dropped it. And it's another turnover. Maryland gets it right back. But
something well, they've done something to negate that they've done well. We saw in the first half where they were forced a Maryland missed shot, but then give it right back. Kind of a similar situation right there. Just those little mistakes, they add up over time.
This is Myers driving. A pass to Massonis, putting it up, no good. But Sellers gets it back. Still fighting for it is Cheyenne Sellers. But Abby Streeter is going to take it the other way. Moves into the hands of the freshman Bates. Just over 5.5 to go in this third quarter. Maryland is up by 20. Sidibe driving. High arcing layup is no good, but she's fouled. So Awa Sidibe will head to the line to shoot free throws.
Not a ton of contact right there from Briggs, but they're going to get her on that call usually 80% of the time when you come across the lane jumping like that. Usually it's sometimes hard for the official to see it depending on the angle, even if there's not too much contact.
Just the second missed free throw by Rutgers tonight, and Awa Sidibe is responsible for both of them. She connects on the second. It's the freshman Mila Reynolds who checks into this game. Providing some height, a 6'3" guard. 6'3", that's the tallest of anyone on this Maryland team, but again, listed as a guard. That kind of reflects just the changes in basketball. Maryland, not much height, but you don't really need it. They're a phenomenal team.
Well, the new modern style of basketball has kind of moved to this smaller ball. We've seen it in other levels. We see it in the men's game. We see it in the NBA as well. And Maryland has kind of moved into that modern style, and they've been doing it really well this year.
Miller couldn't get it to go. That's Reynolds there on the second attempt. She doesn't get it. This is Schmeichel the other way. Putting it up, no good. Just a rough night for Kayleen Schmeichel. Sellers trying to work it inside. And that is up and good from Brene Alexander. Makes the lead 21. What a performance by Maryland here tonight. Streeter misfires on that three. And that's going to be a foul. Schmeichel will head to the line. Perfect 6 for 6 thus far, but 2 for 10 from the field. And she will continue that perfect trend from the charity stripe with another make.
Finding them where she can.
She's got them both. So again, a fantastic night for her from the line, but she has really struggled from the field. It's also worth noting that she is 2 for 3 from deep. Just those 2-pointers have killed her, trying to score in the paint. This is Myers. Pass off to Alexander. Myers gets it back, forcing it inside to Miller. Mila Reynolds putting it up, no. Fighting for it, foul on her. It's not the way that you want Rutgers to get back into this game.
Scoring with the stop clock, that's exactly what Rutgers has been able to do as a result of these free throws. Just like the first quarter, they got into the bonus pretty relatively early. We're just past the halfway point now with 4 minutes to go, but a little bit troubling if you're Maryland. You have a couple of players picking up some fouls, and you're just letting Rutgers hang around just a little bit. You know, they're struggling on that offensive side, but you never know when they can get a spark going, especially from a player like Schmeichel, who's just had a really rough day from the field.
And again, Rutgers, we can't say this enough, they're making all of these free throws Maryland is giving them. Hit 14 of 16. This is Alexander, giving it off to Massonis. Myers trying to turn inside, somehow kept it. Miller's gonna put it up from 3, no good. Fight for it, Sellers gets it back and scores. Good fight there by Cheyenne Sellers on the offensive glass.
Well, we've talked about so much today about how scrappy she is in every aspect of the game, and that's just another one right there. Just cleaning up on the offensive glass, being in the right place and the right time is about half the battle when you're down there on the low block.
3 Terps in double digits. That's put up and in by Cassandra Brown. Sellers with 12, Myers also with 12, and Miller leading the way with 15. This is Sellers. Nice pass to Myers. She's going to put it up. No good. Airmailed it. A rare miss by Abby Myers. It's been a mixed bag from her tonight. We've seen some really good and also some bad.
Maryland, as a whole offensively in this quarter, a little bit struggling, a little bit worse than we'd seen in that first half. They've only made 2 of their last 11, so perhaps we'll see in what ways they'll make an adjustment on the offensive side.
This is Sidibe. Over to Schmeichel. 10 on the shot clock. Rutgers is going to have to do something here. No good, unlucky. It's been that rim all day long, no matter who's shooting on it. Diamond Miller take it across. This is Myers. Giving it off to Alexander. Pass inside. Sonis tried to get it back. And out of bounds, it will go Rutgers' way. Turned the ball over 17 times in that first half. Just twice so far in the first 8 minutes of the second half. Carter's going to take it all the way and score. Nobody picked her up. Rutgers down by 15, creeping back into this game. And Maryland's going to call a timeout to try to stop the bleeding.
Full court press style of defense, but they've really gotten those adjustments that they needed from Coach Washington here in the second half. The turnovers.
But just 8 players. She's won 8 games already. 2 of them in the Big Ten, which is such a tough conference. As a rebuilding Rutgers program, they're going to be really good down the line as Massonis is fouled. Went to Notre Dame, where she had 2.7 steals per game, and it's kind of interesting that her team turns the ball over because that's still a record at Notre Dame. Driving his Sellers, no good. Massonis pulled it out of the sky, and a jump ball is going to be called. Schmeichel's going to give it in to Kai Carter. Ever since they had that 10-second call earlier on, Rutgers has done a better job of getting the ball across midcourt on this tough Maryland press.
Maryland's toned down the aggression on that full court press that we saw so much of in the first half.
Well, Schmeichel made that shot. It's not going to count, but it's worth saying 0 for 8, Ben, on 2-point field goals tonight.
She's just been a little bit too aggressive. I know they always say you got to be aggressive and attack the basket, but we've seen instances where she's been a little too aggressive and she's forced up a couple of shots that weren't the best looks. This is a really good Maryland defense, and it's tough to get those looks around the basket, so she's been a little bit unbeneficial of some aggressive takes.
Well, Myers trying to put it up, and it fell out of her hands. Instead, she gave it off to Alexander, who made a 3. So Myers not shooting that actually gave Maryland an extra point. A little bit of luck there for the Terps. Pass across to Schmeichel. To the corner, Streeter. Schmeichel working inside. That pass intercepted by Masonis, who's going to give it up to Sellers. Sellers, no look pass to Miller, who finishes it off. And that 20-point lead is restored. Just when it looked like Rutgers was going to find a way to crack that lead down and get back into it, Maryland seemingly shutting the door. And that is 10 seconds.
And now they got the crowd behind them, who's making a little bit of noise.
After 2 turnovers in the first 8 minutes of this half, Rutgers has turned it over 3 times in the last 1:45. This is Cook trying to keep it, she can't. Stolen by Schmeichel, who's going to put it up at the buzzer, no good.
So little, I'm not even sure they can fully comprehend the level of basketball Maryland's played at today. They've been fantastic.
And as soon as you say that, right on cue, Maryland turns it right over. This is Sidibe the other way. To the corner, Schmeichel 3, good! How about that to start the 4th quarter?
Well, let's settle down a little bit.
I don't know, it's a 17-point game and a turnover for Maryland. They just have not done that yet tonight, but they respond there with a 2. And here comes Rutgers. That's 2 made threes on their first 2 attempts of this 4th quarter. This is Alexander. Pass inside for Briggs. And yet again, Maryland with a quick 2 after.
Talk about threading the needle right there. Really nice pass from Alexander.
This is Sidibe. Long pass is knocked down by Cornwell. Bates trying to give it off to Sidibe. Inside Cornwell. Putting it up and in. And this is Pinzan taking it across midcourt. Miller behind the back, giving it off to Masonis. This is Alexander, up and no good. Here comes Rutgers again. Driving, Sidibe giving it off to Lafayette. Here's a 3, Schmeichel, that time no good. Picked up by Briggs. And this is Diamond Miller. Got a hot start here for Rutgers. Can Maryland find an answer? This is Masonis giving it off to Briggs. This is Pinzan. She's going to put up a 3. No good. Rebounded by Sidibe. Throwing it up for Schmeichel. Schmeichel putting up. She's fouled. And again, 6 for 6 from the line tonight. Boy, does she need these to cut this lead down even more.
You know, all the free throws matter so much to this Rutgers team here in the late stages of the game, scoring with the stop clock already trailing by 16. But Schmeichel has done such a good job in this game of finding ways to get to the free throw line. That's really what separates her from a lot of players. Even though she hasn't had a good night by any means when attacking the basket, when she's attacked the basket in opportunistic moments, she's been able to draw the contact and get those fouls. And she knows when she's going to be able to get in a position like that, and she's taking advantage.
Schmeichel's got another free throw. She's got them both. Just an amazing, amazing night for her from the line. That's 8 for 8 now. It's a 14-point game here in the fourth quarter. This is Briggs. Off to Basonis. This is Sellers driving, tried to put it up, did not go. That's another turnover. Rutgers is going to get the ball again. If they can keep that going and limit the turnovers, there's still 7 minutes to go. They're not out of this game. Especially with Maryland turning the ball over as they are right now. This is Schmeichel. That's an off-the-ball foul on Faith Basonis.
Something to keep an eye on. Maryland going to have that in the back of their head as we come towards the conclusion here.
Erica Lafayette working on Myers. Giving it in for Brown. Tipped pass, it's loose, but Schmeichel gets it back. 5 on the shot clock, Schmeichel with it. Off to Sidibe, she's gonna put it up from way out, no good. Here comes Basonis, quick in transition. Pass to Sellers. Myers was cutting, but Sellers could not see her. It's gonna stay with Maryland. She will give it off to Myers. This is Alexander. Basonis is fouled. This is Myers. And she is fouled. That's 3 fouls in this one possession.
And then in turn, you get Rutgers, on the other hand, who has to try to stop you when you go to the basket, so they've had to just resort to fouling.
Sellers putting that up, no good, and yet another foul. Give or take 3.5 minutes of this fourth quarter. Briggs is gonna put it up, no good. Rebounded by Rutgers, so no points there for Maryland, but still a really productive possession.
Took a lot of time off the clock as well.
This is Carter. Putting it up, no good. Rebounded by Alexander, and that's Myers peeling out yet again, and Maryland really loves to do that in transition. Get one of their guards down the court in a hurry. This is Briggs cutting inside and laying it in. Eliciting a nice cheer for this crowd. Neither team had scored in about 2.5 minutes before that. So the crowd excited to see some scoring finally. And a timeout is going to be called. This is Bates. Pass inside. Comes back out to Streeter. She's going to put up a 3, no good. And here comes Sellers. Alexander trying to take it inside. This is Basonis putting it up. It's blocked. Basonis will get it back though. Nice focus by her. Here's Sellers, wide open 3, no. Rebounded by Briggs and another foul. 5th foul of this quarter on Rutgers. It's Lavender Briggs at the line for free throws. She's got the first. And again, Maryland has not really done a good job of just closing the door here. 1 for their last 7 from the field, but Lavender Briggs connects on both free throws. That extends the lead back up to 18. Rutgers has not scored in almost 3 minutes now. This is Schmeichel trying to give it off to Lafayette. Back to Schmeichel, who scores finally from inside the perimeter. Sellers giving it off. Myers, quick jumper, good. Deadly there from Abby Myers at the other end. And a quick response after that Rutgers bucket.
It's been a while since we'd seen an Abby Myers shot from that corner right there. She's so good when she gets hot from that area, and she kind of cooled off a little bit towards the second half, but it's nice to see her coming alive here in the fourth quarter.
This is Sellers. She's going to take this the other way. Giving it off, Alexander, another 3, it's good. Brene Alexander.
I was a little bit hesitant to how I'd react to her shooting that shot so early in the shot clock with the lead, but Alexander's feeling it. If you're feeling it, let it fly.
14 points for her today. Driving in is Sidibe. Passing it outside. That 3 no good. Rebounded by Briggs. Long pass to Sellers. Sellers tried to give it off to Myers, getting a little bit too cute there, I think, from Sellers. Here she is again. Alexander, a pass this time. Myers is no good there on the jumper. Just over 3 minutes to go in this game. Schmeichel giving it off. And found us Cornwell, who will head to the line. And a 21-point lead for Maryland seems almost insurmountable at this point in the game, but Rutgers, they are not quick to give up. Just 8 players, but again, really, really scrappy and tough, each one of them. And that free throw, no good. With 2 really, really talented freshmen in Schmeichel and Bates, future's looking really bright for the Scarlet Knights.
Definitely, you know, you have a very well-rounded coach in Washington who's got all the accolades on paper to build this program up, and you know she's going to find her way in the recruits. You know, the transfer portal, as big it is now, she'll probably find a couple studs in there as well. So definitely looking up if you're a Rutgers fan.
It's McDaniel into the game. This is Myers. Pass outside, Alexander again. Got it again! Renee Alexander. That one should be curtains.
Her 5th 3 of the game, Tyler. I mean, the 1,000th point thing itself is just a ridiculous feat, and it's something to be celebrated, but she's really taken the energy from eclipsing that mark, and now she's really feeling it from beyond the arc.
There's Cornwell there. This is Myers. Long pass across, give it back to her. Alexander, got it again! Renee Alexander cannot miss from deep. That's 20 tonight for her. She's got this place going. This is Bates. A day to remember for Renee Alexander as the whistle goes.
Of Myers and Miller. Alexander is just proving the real depth that this Maryland team has. I know it was a big question mark coming into the season what kind of depth they would have following what happened with the transfer portal and the reloading of this program, and Alexander on full display today.
Can't forget about Cheyenne Sellers either. Just so much talent everywhere for this Maryland team. Renee Alexander has come off the bench all year long as Reynolds puts up a jumper, no good. 17 games, just 1 start for her, but she's really embraced that bench role and she's done so well out of it. Maryland to have exploded out to a 24-point lead, their largest of the game, thanks to her getting really, really hot from beyond the arc. This is Reynolds driving, putting it up, no good. Fight for the ball is won by Stebe, who will take it the other way, put it up, no good. Rebounded by Ava Ciola, who gets herself into the stat sheet. Just 26 minutes for her this year in 5 games, but she comes in and makes a play. It's her 8th rebound of this season. Give it in to Gia Cook. That time no good. Rebounded by Streeter. Final 20 seconds of this game. Shot clock turned off. That's Bates driving. The whistle goes, and Maryland's going to take it.
But just a really prolific response by this team today.
Well, they beat Rutgers on January 2nd. Turn around and do it here yet again. This time in a lot more dominant fashion. It's the Maryland Terrapins who take this one 80-56, but it's all about Renee Alexander.
Fantastic day for Alexander, a career historic day for her, not only just with the 1,000-point thing, but 6 of 8 from beyond the arc.